Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in again to another episode of CivilianTacticalWeapons.com. Today we're actually going to talk about the Tactical Magwell. It's a very simple device, about 40 bucks, maybe 40, 50 bucks. And what it is it's actually a device that flutes out the bottom of an AR mag. So it makes the magwell section bigger and almost like a you can almost think of it as a funnel. It's the best way to describe it is a funnel for an AR. So, kind of show you how it works. Doesn't matter any standard AR mag. If you had a, here's kind of interesting. This is where I'm going to start with it. It's actually an interesting device. I'd actually like to see these used a bit in Iraq, as far as if you're training someone who's used to using an AK-47 all the time. You're trying to get them very quickly used to an AR. From the horror stories I've heard from private military contractors and stuff, we're out there teaching Iraqi security forces. Anything's going to help train them a little better. But if you have the muscle memory of an AK, where you're used to rocking the magazine in, like an SKS and AK, where you rock the mag in like this, versus an AR where you pop it straight on the bottom, this can actually fix the rocking thing. So if you notice here, it's actually fluted in here, and this will actually guide it into the slot. So if you're off at a slight angle, this will actually fix a really bad muscle memory. So for example, let's say you were using an AK and you're now all of a sudden moving an AR, this would actually help you get your brain in line with loading the AR correctly. It's also got a side option for rails, so you can actually buy a side rail kit to actually stick a light down here on the side. I don't know how I personally don't really like that idea. You can put it on both left and right, so the thought process was, well, yeah, it can get in the way of your finger over here, so you put it on the right side. Well, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but if I do the left-hand transition, then guess what? This is going to then mess around with my left-handed shooting. So I couldn't actually shoot over my left and transition to my right because I'd have this in the way if I had a light. So I wouldn't recommend buying this for a light accessory, because you do have to practice transitional shooting. The one thing I do like about it is the finger grooves. So if you're used to shooting real tight in, CQB real tight, maybe you're used to almost like an MP5 style or whatever, you can keep yourself in really tight here. Hold this down. If you're laying down on the ground to shoot like this, some people, depending on how you're taught, some people don't like to extend the vertical foregrip. The vertical foregrip I tend to like more for CQB standing type stuff. But a lot of times people will grab the back of the magwell, and that's how they'll shoot for long range shooting on the prone. This is nice because it does give you that little finger groove, so it does seem to fit a lot nicer. I do like that a lot. I'll show you a couple of different magazine options that people use. This is called a mag cincher. As you can see, it will operate on both sides. One modification you'll have to do if you do use these is you do have to have these set down further. I didn't set that down on accident that way. I normally keep these higher up on the mag, but because of the way this is fluted a little bit, you have to actually bring it down closer towards the base. I don't really see a major problem with that, but they'll operate like that. What it won't operate is the Beta C mag. So what happens is, if you can see there, it won't go all the way in. So if you look carefully at the base of this device is preventing it from sliding down any further because it's widened the magwell. So that widened area of the magwell that's fluting it out off to the left and right is also causing the Beta C mag not to fit. So I'm not happy about that. But to be totally honest, I don't use my Beta C mag all that much anyways. Really, the main purpose for a Beta C mag is more of a suppression system. So I don't know, perimeter suppression, where you're just trying to lay down volumes of gunfire is really more where a Beta C mag is. As far as for CQB running and shooting and stuff, you're not going to use a Beta C mag realistically at all. So So where I would kind of see this benefit is if you're a competitive shooter, a casual shooter, you're not looking for this for military applications, real combat or anything, and you're just looking at ways of maybe shaving off, fractions of a second on your reload, this may be a good option. Maybe at least start you off to speed you up, and then maybe you take it off later. If you're a law enforcement department where everyone would be mandated to have this device on their AR, I could see that could be an interesting option. However, in the military, if you're being trained to pick up the AR that's next to you, I really don't see millions of these going out to the military anytime soon. So if you train with the muscle memory of having this type of device fix your magazine loading errors in your mind, if this device was taken off of the gun, you could have problems, have more failures to actually feed the magazine correctly, because you've now conditioned yourself to having this fix your problems. So it's kind of, I kind of view it more as a shortcut training mechanism where I can train people maybe a little quicker, a little sloppier, and have them be able to use something effectively. This is like I was talking about, maybe security forces in Iraq or whatever. If you're used to using an AK, you just try and train them as quick as possible. Hey, this is a very cheap little, under $40 option I can stick onto an AR, and then bam, I'm done. I can teach them in a shorter time period to be somewhat effective with the weapon, with magazine. So I do like it for that. I'm going to keep it on my gun probably for a few months, keep shooting it a little bit more, and then I think I'm going to make a final decision if I'm going to keep it or not. The other problem, this is another personal peeve of mine about it, is because I really just don't like the fluted side, and that's really where a lot of these problems come. The rail system, I think, is completely useless because it's going to interfere with any type of transitional shooting. The other thing too is, keep in mind when you're taught to shoot, you keep your finger off of the trigger, so you're actually moving like this. This is now causing a new problem of transitioning from keeping my finger off the trigger. So I'm trying to keep it under the magazine release off the trigger. Normally it would just stay kind of nice and flush right here, and then I could move very quickly over. I find that this kind of pushes my finger so far out that I think I actually lose some time here. So that being said, maybe I've gained a fraction of a second of manipulating my magazine, but then now I've actually gained a fraction of a second of getting my finger into the right spot. So I don't know, you give and take one thing over the other. So that being said, if you have any questions, please email me at info@civiliantacticalweapons.com. The company again is Tactical Magwell, so it's www.tacticalmagwell.com, and I hope to see you in another episode.